Hello everyone, my name is Anansh Prasad and I'm the founder and managing director of SkillSphere Education. We are a pan-Asian organization focusing on the development of a range of essential 21st century skills amongst students and adults across the world. This series of videos, the first of which is this one, is going to focus on a range of different aspects related to a very important facet, public speaking, and in fact to a smaller extent, communication as well. And this video is going to start off with the most basic aspect of public speaking, self-speaking. I honestly believe that nobody can speak well in public unless you are able to speak about yourself, alright? So we're going to be focusing on a little bit of self-speaking over the duration of this short video. I always start off my sessions with a very simple question that I ask any of my students. And I will ask you that very question. So if I was to ask any of you to speak about yourselves for a period of 5 minutes, how many of you would be confident of doing so? Take 10 seconds, think about it. Think about it. I'm asking you to speak about yourself and only yourself for a period of 5 minutes. Do you think about it? How many minutes do you think you can speak about yourself for? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? If any of those are your answers, then you're probably doing quite well. Because the average person as per statistics cannot speak about himself or herself for anything more than 18 seconds. This is because typically when a person introduces himself or herself, the questions that are answered are, what is my name? What is my institution? What do I do? And where do I belong to? But there's a lot more about you that goes well beyond that. Because introductions typically comprise of two major parts, facts and characteristics. Now, frankly speaking, if you were to ask me one specific way of introducing yourself in every single place, I would not have an answer for you, and no person probably would. Because introductions totally depend upon the environment, the people, the situation, and where you are really talking about yourself. Okay? And to be frank, you will never be speaking about yourself for 5 minutes at a go. But the point is that you should be confident of doing so if you are put into this situation. So the question is, how do you ensure this? Well, it's simple. There are 5 simple questions that you should be able to answer about yourself irrespective of the situation. Alright? And these 5 questions are as follows. Number 1, any incident or experience that changed the way you perceive the world. Okay? And trust me, each one of us have some incident or experience that changed the way we are perceiving the world or we look at ourselves. Okay? That's question number 1. It requires a little bit of reflection. Right? Question number 2 is, what are your characteristic traits? Are you bubbly? Are you chirpy? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? What kind of a person are you? Question number 3 is, what are the things that you like to do in your free time? What are your hobbies? Question number 4 is a very important question which actually shows the level of conviction you have in yourself. And that question is, if you were put in a crowd of people, what is that one thing that would make you stand out? And question number 5 is simple. Your name and your basic personal details, your city, your education, where you're working on, and so on and so forth. Okay? These 5 questions, if you're able to answer, you'll probably be able to speak about yourself for anything between 3 to 5 minutes. Now, once again, I'd like to tell you that you do not need to answer these questions altogether while introducing yourself everywhere. But these are typically questions that would help people to get to know you. Alright? So I will give you my introduction in fact, because this is the first series of videos we are shooting. Okay, and I'll give you a good example of how you can do this. So I'm not going to say question 1 to question 5. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself. Alright? So when actually I was in the 6th standard, I was one of the students in class who was very academically brilliant. Okay, very academically brilliant, but absolutely struggled when expressing himself in front of a crowd of people. Okay. I used to really feel conscious about myself. I did not like the entire concept of speaking in front of a crowd of people and used to shy away from it as far as possible. Then one fine day, what happened is that my teacher kept an extempore speaking competition in class. Now, extempore speaking is of course speaking on the spot, and I was mortally scared of participating in that competition. But as luck would have it, I was the first person who was called to come up and speak. And the topic that I was asked to speak on was my school. Now, honestly speaking, I had spent enough of time in that school to know all about it. But I was so mortally scared of speaking without preparation and on the spot that I did not open my mouth. Back then, my teacher stood behind me and said that Anansh, I have a pin in my hand, and if you don't open your mouth, I will dig that pin into your back until it comes out from the other side. I was mortally scared of that pin, and I started speaking up. And as luck would have it, I spoke for an entire 1.5 minutes and realized that I'm decently good at public speaking. I also realized later on that she didn't have a pin in her hand, but that pin is still something that makes or motivates me to speak up today. And from there on, I went on to participate in many debates, many Model UN conferences, many public speaking conferences. And as luck would have it, I'm a public speaking and soft skills development trainer today. So life has come in absolute full circle for me. As far as my characteristic traits are concerned, I do believe that I have good leadership qualities. I'm a creatively oriented person and I'm an ambivert. The things that I like to do in my free time are I love watching sports. I'm a sports fanatic. I love basketball. I love tennis. I love cricket. I love football. I can watch any sport. I love playing the guitar and I'm a voracious reader who likes to keep abreast with the current affairs happenings of the world. It is probably why I do what I do at SkillSphere Education. The one thing that would make me stand out in a crowd of people is my ability to adapt and speak to anyone, irrespective of whether they are 8 years old or 80 years old. My name is Anansh Prasad, and I'm the founder and managing director of SkillSphere Education. I have completed my master's from Cornell University, USA, and I came back to start this organization off. It's headquartered in Mumbai. Of course, everything is headquartered online today, but I would like to state that I have been born in Mumbai and I will probably die in Mumbai too. That's how much I love this city. Thank you so much. So, friends, that was my introduction. I would like all of you to try introducing yourself by answering these 5 questions as well. And trust me, it is going to help you in many, many different ways. So that's it for this video on the art of introduction and the art of speaking about yourselves for 5 minutes. And it's a very interesting question. If you reflect on it, it's really funny because we can speak about so many things across the world for longer durations. But when it comes to ourselves, we are often conscious about doing so. And as I mentioned, self-speaking is the starting point of public speaking. So I hope all of you try this exercise out. You can always post your videos in the comment section as well, or you can probably share them with me on personal chat too. And I look forward to seeing some of these things. Very soon, you'll be seeing the next set in the series of videos. But until then, adieu. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe.